Hi there. Why would you want a community? And believe me, you want a community. What do you need in a community? And which community do I think is best to use today? Hi, my name is Chen. I have been for months now, for more than 6 months now, building my own community, seeing value from it. And I've been a part of other communities that have been successful in ways that are hard to believe until you see with your own eyes. And let's talk about this whole concept of communities. The basic reason we all need a community is because we're human. I know some people tend to be loners, but biologically speaking, we are a herd animal. I mean, I'm not the first to say that. And we all like our group. We all like our, crowd. Some smaller, some bigger, but without that crowd, we feel alone. And modern life has create a pretty big vacuum when it comes to big city communities. We're actually very often feeling more alone despite the crowds than if we were in a small village and we knew each other. Everybody knows everybody in those small villages. So one thing that's happening lately, especially with the AI coming in and everything becoming digitized, there is more and more um, of a movement by the people into communities. And the social networks that we all know, like Facebook and Instagram, they don't really fill the gap that well for many, many reasons. Some communities thrive there, but I'll talk about the problematics of it. But many of them fail to actually grow because something is basically missing, and that's a personal touch by the owners. Okay, but there's another side why you want a community, and it really doesn't matter who you are. Whether you are a person that's just looking to raise a hobby group, you love your you know, paper plane making and you love to share it with other people, or, building kites, or, collecting stamps, or any other reason for a hobby. Nowadays, you can actually get a huge crowd around you and it can be so fun. Whether it's because you can trade those stamps or coins, or whether it's because, you have people to share, or other people are bringing in their own experience into your community. It's really a fun thing. But, more financial aspects of communities, uh, which I can divide roughly into two, would be the business communities. And that's something that's just, it's like earliest stage right now, but anyone not doing it is seriously missing out. Your competitors are already looking into it, so you have to go and check it out. Yeah, sure, a mailing list is and probably will always be like the basic mainstay, but then again, we have so much in our inbox nowadays. People don't open as well as they did. I'm not even talking about all the pain in where the Gmail is doing right now, etc. There's definitely a need for a more intimate engagement. And in a community, if you build it right, if you promote the right kind of engagement, well, you're gaining a huge, huge, huge tool, because all those clients that are inside your community and are gaining knowledge and value are available to you. And the ones that are truly engaged are available to you daily. You can ask them questions instead of all those hard to get calls. You can actually offer them ideas. You can test new ideas. And it doesn't matter if this is a service or a product or whatever. If you're a company and you don't have a community yet, you've got a lot of money on the floor you need to pick up. So that's definitely the second kind, second aspect that would definitely shine by adding a community. And then there's all those wonderful creators of, well, courses. I mean, that is such a hit over the last several decades, especially since the corona. Everyone is into building courses. But it used to be very practical to just build a course, put it in the right kind of, system, fire and forget with a good ad, and never have anything to do with the people going into the course. It worked for a short period. How many of you actually look for those kind of courses nowadays? Most people nowadays expect the personal touch. And the personal touch when it comes to, such a digital version of a course is either actually being live in the course all the time, which most people kind of find is missing the point, or being in touch through emails, which is a very cumbersome system nowadays for most people. or you could put them into a community, either with a course inside it or separately. But have that dialogue with those clients, and they have dialogue with each other. The peers fill a gap, which means a lot of the burden of the course creator now is shared with the community. Of course, you do want to be active in it, by the way, but you can choose how. You can choose how often, how much. You can choose how much of your time is given how. You can do it free and just gain, the traction and, having people finish the course, which is a real challenge nowadays. Most people buy courses and never even enter them. And you can then, once you have a big crowd already inside, whether it's a business or as a course creator specifically, once you have 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, I've seen groups with 150,000 people in them. Just think how available they are to be offered a new course, a new product, a new services, and they're already there. They'll tell you, we like it, we don't like it. They'll actually ask you, we need this from you, we need that from you, because they're already engaging with you and they know their needs. So community is actually the perfect solution to be hands-on with your clients, but this is a one-on-many instead of a one-on-one. It doesn't matter how many you can have some assistance within the community, of course, but just think about it. They're all there. You can open a Zoom and everybody's there, or at least as many as choose to jump on board. But if you got a well-engaged, community, I've seen it work beautifully. It doesn't take a lot of work, a lot less than it would take most other systems nowadays. But in order to understand why I'm so enthusiastic, you also need to understand where I found my community. I've tested many. I've seen quite a few different kinds of communities. I liked a lot of them for their, aesthetics and usefulness. But my choice at the end of the day was the Skool environment. Okay, and the link will be in the description below. It's an affiliate link. I'd love to help you. I'd love to gain something for it, and it doesn't cost you extra. So I hope you are in a giving mood. Anyway, the point here is that in the Skool environment, I found several things which I didn't find in the other community environments that I've tested. The first of them was a level of availability of the people that actually founded it and are running it to the community builders that is unmatched. You can actually have a chat with them to a certain level, or sometimes physically, if you're doing well within their system. But you can always ask questions, straightforward. You have answers. You actually have a place where you can be in a dialogue with the system builders, which is really uncommon. The second thing I found amazing was that they actually listened to the feedback to the point that they changed things live over the past 6 months alone, several times, bringing in some really powerful innovations. The first of them was that they actually understood that many people are just looking for hobby groups or just want to start. And so they actually created a entry level that is absurd in price. It's less than $10 a month to hold your own community. I mean, believe me, that's as cheap as it comes. And you get 90% of the value you would get if you had the full paying community that's more for the bigger businesses, bigger paid communities, whatever, or your future community. And even that's not that expensive. I could afford it. And for me, it was just a test run for my business. So yeah, you tell me, $10 a month is definitely worth it, especially if it also contains a full ability to store videos inside the system. I mean, think how much Vimeo or Wistia cost nowadays to be able to, store videos without them being easily downloadable by clients, for courses, for instance, or businesses. It's very important that their material is, available to view, but not available to download and, replicate. So that's just built in. Even in the $10 a month system, you get the ability to store videos, and they're just about to actually bring in live streaming. Yeah, you heard it. No more need for Zoom within the system. And it's easy to build courses that way too, because you can stream your course once and then it's ready. And on top of that, it has all the necessary ingredients one would look for in such a community, for the technical value of it. I mean, think about it. What do you need? You need to be able to communicate with people. There's a live chat, very useful, very effective. You can embed video, audio, images, GIFs, and of course text. You have a whole gamification system within, which helps people engage. They get points when they get likes to what they posted. They get valued for being regular by getting a special flame at the end of their name after a while. It's a system that actually promotes engagement at a level that I have not seen before. And I've tried managing all kinds of other kinds of communities 10 times harder. This system actually, well, promotes it. It helps you do your job quite well. And there's a lot of people who are very helpful about supporting you. I mean, you can get free support to build your own community from other communities where you can, of course, pay them for a higher level of support, more hands-on, do done for you, stuff like that. But I've actually had a lot of help over the years, and I'll link a few of those communities I really enjoy even today. And it's amazing to see how well they succeed. It's really amazing to see how well they succeed because they give simple, straightforward value. Now you have a course section and you have like a whole system for selling your community, for bringing people in that's built into the system, more advanced for those that pay the higher tab, but even at $10 a month still have like a regular POW page where it's a landing page and you can use it if you want. You can collect emails, you can take phone calls, you can collect information, all as part of the sign up system. Full, it's fully loaded with every trick in the book that you possibly would want. And with people like Hormozy in the top, of the pyramid here, you can understand that it's a successful business. Otherwise, he wouldn't be a part of it and an enthusiastic part of it. So you tell me, are you still thinking about it? Or are you already clicking down below on those links and going to check what this is all about? If you have questions, you can ask me here. You can join my community, which will also be linked below, and ask me directly. Whether you stick around later because you like the health aspects of my community, or you have gallstones by mistake, or whether you stick around for a while till you get the picture and then you move on and build your own community or join other communities, you're welcome. This is all one big happy family. This whole community of communities called Skool. And actually, I forgot to mention, and this is an important bonus, that one of the reasons why I chose Skool, one of the first reasons was that you're actually within a system with a lot of people already and can easily get the exposure. Okay, that means you can actually sell your wares, your value, your meaning, your whatever you want to build to existing members of the general community. You have to do it right, don't be salesy, be wise, but you have a huge crowd growing crazy pace at this point of people you can actually be in touch with, you can build with, you can actually attract them into your community without needing to go out and put ads and organic work, etc. You can do that too. But this system offers you the kind of exposure which none of the other systems actually offer. And that in itself was the main reason that brought me in before all the beautiful bonuses that I've learned over time were being added. So tell me what you like about it after you've seen it.